In 32, we are given cosine 5 pi over 12 times cosine 7 pi over 12, but minus sine 5 pi over 12 and sine 7 pi over 12. Okay, so I'm getting my papers from the recycling bin for a minute. So please remember, these are the formulas or the identities that we are working with. Sine of a sum or difference, cosine sum or difference, tangent sum or difference. Does this resemble any of those? Anyone?
Cosine.
Okay, perfect. Since it has minus, what is
Plus.
plus? Very good. So that's all we have to write. How do I write it? Can anyone dictate? Cosine of anyone, please? Anyone, please? Anyone would like to try? What do we write in parentheses, please?
7 pi over 12 plus 5 pi over 12.
Thank you, Charles. Thank you for saving us. Okay, so then cosine 5 plus 7 is 12. 12 pi over 12 is pi. Who would like to give us the number? Cosine pi equals? And remember, you don't have to think. We talked about it. We're
1.
careful. So this is the 1, but this is the -1. Remember, we measure cosine on the x-axis.
-1.
Excellent. Good. Moving on. Okay. So here's another type of problem. Let's read it and then decide what part. Maybe we don't want to work on all parts, all 4 parts, or maybe we do. Find the exact value of each of the following under the given conditions. So this is what we are trying to determine. Either sine alpha plus beta, or cosine alpha plus beta, or sine alpha minus beta, or tangent alpha minus beta. And this is the piece of information that we have. So let's choose from all these. What would you like to work on? Please. Is there anyone else but Sophie and Charles with us? Anyone else? Anyone, please?
Can you do A?
Let's do A. A? The sine alpha plus beta?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So here's what we have. Alpha and beta appear to be in the same quadrant. Can anyone identify the quadrant for alpha and beta? Anyone, please? Can anyone identify the quadrant for alpha and beta?
Three.
Which one?
3.
Excellent. Good. So now we are given also that tangent alpha equals 5 over 12. And we're also given that sine beta is -1/2. Good. Where is the starting point here? What do I need to do first? This is what I'm asked to find. So where is my starting point? What do you think? Anyone? Zach, Axel, Conrad, anyone, please. Kevin, anyone?
The difference?
So first of all, I have to write the formula or the identity for sine alpha plus beta because I don't know what to do with all these. I like to see it first. So can anyone dictate sine alpha plus beta? What is the identity? Please give it a shot. Anyone?
Sine alpha cosine theta plus sine theta cosine alpha
Excellent.
or beta. Is it theta?
It's so this is theta
Yeah.
and this is beta. I'm fine if you simply use A or B, A and B, or you use X and Y. It doesn't matter. You can replace them and use what you prefer. It doesn't matter. They're all the same. Perfect. So what I have is sine beta. This is given to me. I don't have to do anything about it. I can determine cosine beta very easily. What is the identity that will allow us to find cosine beta if we have sine beta? Which identity are we going to use now to find cosine beta? Because this I have.
Sine squared plus cosine squared. equals
Yes.
what?
Either plus or minus, exactly. That's where it's coming from. 1 minus sine squared beta. Awesome. Now we have to decide upon the sign. It cannot be plus or minus. It's either plus or minus. Since beta is in the third quadrant, which sign do I have to keep?
Negative.
Exactly. Excellent. Only negative. Perfect. So then I have cosine beta equals negative the square root of, remember sine squared, it's a negative number. I don't care. I have to square it. It's 1/4. So 1 minus 1/4. 4 minus 1. So negative the square root of 3 over 2. So now I have the cosine beta as well. Negative the square root of 3 over 2. Good. Now we have to identify sine alpha and cosine alpha. We are only given tangent. Okay? So we are given tangent alpha equals 5 divided by 12. Yes?
I have a question.
Yes, please.
So, why did you say it 1/4 is negative? Is
I
it
can
because
never
of the
I can never say that. When I square any number, it will always be positive. It has nothing to do with the sign.
Mhm.
If this is positive or negative, it doesn't matter. This quantity
Oh,
will always
okay.
be positive. Is that better?
Yes, thank you.
Perfect. Okay, so now we only have tangent. How do we determine, because I need sine and cosine. This is a different angle. We are done with beta. Now we are working on alpha. And I am only told that tangent alpha is 5 divided by 12. Since alpha and beta are in the third quadrant, both sine and cosine will be negative. So I know that for sure. Sine alpha, cosine alpha must be negative. Good. So one option would be to look at the right triangle with an acute angle alpha. So can anyone tell us what we know from tangent alpha equals 5 over 12? What do we know? What sides we know?
The opposite is 5.
Yes,
12.
yes. So these are Pythagorean numbers. Anyone remembers what this would be, or just calculate it? Can anyone calculate the hypotenuse, please? Can anyone give us the hypotenuse? Can anyone give us the formula? How will you determine the hypotenuse?
13, right?
Yes, exactly. Excellent. Is the square root of 25 plus the square root of 5 squared plus 12 squared, which is 144. Excellent. This is the square root of 169, which indeed is 13. Awesome. Keeping in mind that we already established the sine from this triangle, can anyone give us sine and cosine? Sine?
13.
Yes, excellent. And cosine?
12/13.
Excellent. Finally, I have everything. So I have sine alpha, which is -5/13, and I have -12/13. I just put them so you can see them underneath, but this is not the way I want to finish it up, of course. So I go back and I write sine alpha plus beta equals negative times negative will be positive. So I have 5 the square root of 3/26. Negative times negative, it's positive, and I have 12/26. So the final simplified form is 5 the square root of 3 plus 12 divided by 26. And this is it. Any questions on how to determine the exact value of sine alpha plus beta given some information about each angle? Are we okay? Do we need to look at another or we move on? Anyone, please?
What are we doing?
We need to do another one.
Yes, please choose. Of course, with pleasure, yes. The answer is always yes. Which one? We did part A. Which ones? Or which one you want to work on?
Can we do B and D?
B and D. B plus D. Okay, so let me copy B. B is cosine alpha plus beta, and D is tangent alpha minus beta. Perfect. Okay, so the formula for cosine is a little bit twisted, but that's okay. So cosine alpha plus beta is cosine alpha cosine beta minus sine alpha sine beta. Okay, we did the work. We have the work. We only have to plug it in. So cosine alpha was -12/13. Cosine beta was negative the square root of 3/2. Sine alpha was -5/13. Sine beta was -1/2. We did the work. All we have to do now is perform the operations. 2 negatives, and I will simplify, and I get 6 the square root of 3/13. Here, maybe I shouldn't simplify because I cannot simplify the other one. So I'm going to erase that. So I'll just keep it as is. So 12 the square root of 3/26 and plus 5/26. So 12 the square root of 3 plus 5/26. And this is it. We did the work. We found all the necessary portions or pieces of the identity from part A. All we have to do is just use them in part B. let's look at any questions on this one. Any questions?
I have a question. I might be incorrect, but
I may be
5 over
incorrect. Who knows?
5 over 13. That's supposed to be negative. But what about the negative sign that separates the?
Yes, absolutely. That's what I said. I may be wrong. Maybe you see something and I don't. Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you. I stand corrected. No, I wasn't trying to see if anyone was paying attention. No. Absolutely. I have 3 negatives. Absolutely. Thank you very much. Thank you. You were not incorrect. I was. Good. So let's look at D. In part D, we have tangent alpha minus beta. And the formula or identity. Can anyone give us the identity for tangent alpha minus beta? So there is no change here at the top. But the denominator is 1 plus their product. Their product. Tangent alpha, tangent beta. Good. So now we did the work. We can determine easily tangent alpha and tangent beta. Because the angles are in the third quadrant, I don't have to write this, but they have to be positive. Good. No problem. So let's start with alpha. Tangent alpha is sine over cosine. Both are negative. As expected, the answer is positive. So it's 5 over 13 flipped. So it's 5 over 12. Tangent beta is sine beta over cosine beta. 1/2 over the square root of 3 over 2. I flip it and I get the square root of 3 over 3. One more time. 1/2 divided by this. When I flip, I have 2 over the square root of 3, but I have to rationalize it. That's all I needed because I did my work and I had all the answers for sine and cosine. Good. So then from here, I have tangent alpha, which is 5 over 12, minus tangent beta, which is the square root of 3 over 3. And I have 1 plus tangent alpha, 5 over 12, tangent beta, the square root of 3 over 3. Good. The least common denominator in the numerator is 12. So then this one needs a 4. So 5 plus 4, the square root of 3. The least common denominator in the denominator is 36, however. So we have 36 plus 5, the square root of 3. I will simplify by 3. And the simplified form will be 3. 5 plus 4, the square root of 3, over 36 plus 5, the square root of 3. Yes, we can rationalize, but I think this is good enough. So again, 5 over 12 was tangent alpha, sine over cosine. Yep, the denominators are the same, 13, so it's 5 over 12. And tangent beta is sine over cosine. 1/2 over the square root of 3 over 2 is the square root of 3 over 3. Then all we had to do is just plug them in the formula. Tangent alpha minus tangent beta over 1 plus their product. So the numerator has denominator 12. Okay. Okay. So it's minus. So it's 5 minus 4, the square root of 3. And minus again. Careful. I was talking to myself. when I said careful. Okay, so it was 5 minus 4 to the square root of 3 divided by 12, and then this is 36, and I have 36 plus 5 to the square root of 3, and there is nothing I can do to simplify this, other than maybe rationalize, but we are okay with that. Any questions?